What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the MMA News Center. I am Daniel, and these are the MMA headlines. First up, we have the Covington suggests Jon Jones management could be bribing USADA to expedite his UFC return. And speaking on Chael Sonnen's podcast, Covington accused Jon Jones of bribing USADA to expedite his return in the octagon. If we scroll down into the article, and I quote, he says, his scumbag management team, Malki Kawa and those guys, they're probably trying to pay off the UFC or USADA somehow to get him back earlier. Covington said, you never know the UFC side. They want to do business and make money, so if he's available and USADA clears him, then they're going to want to do business and put him back out there to fight and make that company money. He said they've got a $4 billion installment on that loan to pay back, so they're going to do whatever it takes to make the money and pay back. Now, at this point, what Covington is saying is just pure speculation. There's no proof for that. At the same time, they have had an exchange prior to this. It's not the first time that Covington is taking cheap shots at Jon Jones. What do you guys think about this? I actually, in my opinion, believe that Jon Jones is one of the greatest fighters of all time, if not the greatest fighter of all time. And he doesn't need any performance-enhancing drugs to beat anybody, really. So I don't know why he's doing it. But hearing baseless accusations from Covington, just, again, not surprising whatsoever. It's what the guy does. But, yeah. Next headline. Right, our next headline is Vindicated. Anderson Silva will be eligible to return to the octagon this October. If we scroll down, we can see BJPen.com reports, good news for the former UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva and his legions of fans. I'm one of them, guilty as charged. The United States anti-doping agency USADA has determined that his failed drug test was due to a contaminated substance. As a result, he's been handed a 1-year suspension, retroactive to October 2017. This means he'll be eligible to fight again this October. This news comes from Ariel Hawani of ESPN, and I quote, Anderson Silva is going to receive a 1-year suspension from the USADA dating back to October 2017 after it was deemed his positive drug test was due to contaminated substances. Sources confirm he will be eligible to return in October 2018 and wants to resume his career. That is absolutely great news for Anderson Silva. Again, one of the greatest of all time. Big fan right here. If we scroll down, we actually have a statement from Anderson Silva, which, and I quote, says, I am vindicated. This statement said, the past 9 months have been extremely difficult. I felt like my career and everything I had worked so hard for was dying and my future was hanging in the balance. I knew in my heart that I had done nothing wrong and fully cooperated with USADA during their inquiry to prove it. Today I have renewed energy. My legacy is restored. I can focus on getting back into the ring and the next chapter of my life after fighting. As Silva's statement implies, he plans on continuing his fighting career, given that he still remains a huge star. It would not be shocking to see him fighting quite soon after the suspension wraps up in October. Who do you want to see Anderson Silva fight in his anticipated return to the octagon? In all honesty, in my opinion, I would love to see a fight between him and Jon Jones, but probably is never going to happen. But all right, and now last but certainly not least, we have BJPen.com reporting update. Rory McDonald's title will be up for grabs throughout Bellator Welterweight tournament. Bellator anticipated Grand Prix will be different from the other Bellator tournaments in the past because Rory McDonald will be involved, the current champion. In other words, the winner of the tournament will be the champion. If we scroll down, we can see that furthermore, because the title will be up for grabs throughout this tournament, each tournament battle will be a full 5 rounds rather than the typical 3. These updates come from ESPN's Brett Okamoto, who spoke with Cokers this week. This is truly the best welterweight division on the planet. Coker told Okamoto, we have the best fighters on the planet, better than any other league. I actually think that I do agree with that. As we all know, Rory McDonald has a win over Tyron Woodley, which is the current UFC welterweight champion. So that's a very big claim. However, it's a true claim. But if we keep reading, Bellator's welterweight tournament will be populated with Rory McDonald, former champion, Andrew Korashkov. I'm sure I chopped that off. I apologize for that. Former champion Douglas Lima, former UFC welterweight contender Lawrence Larkin, former UFC welterweight title challenger John Fitch, British striker Michael Venom Page, which I've seen a lot of his fights, and I gotta tell you guys, he's a beast. So I cannot wait to see him fighting in the same tournament with Rory McDonald and all these other guys that are it's gonna be a bomb. Grappling ace Neyman Gracie, surging prospect Ed Ruth, and Ukrainian talent Yaroslav Amosov. British knockout artist Paul Daly is also expected to join the tournament field. If we keep scrolling down, we can see that on the same card, Rory McDonald will move up to middleweight to battle divisional champion Gegard Mousasi for the title. Regardless of the outcome of this bout, he will then return to the welterweight division to defend his title throughout this peerless tournament. And they asked, do you think Rory McDonald can hang on to his Bellator welterweight title throughout this incredible welterweight Grand Prix, or will we see a new champion crown? In my opinion, I think that he will hang on to it. He has shown to be an absolute warrior. There's no doubt about it in anybody's mind. The only question mark I would have would be if Rory McDonald ends up fighting Michael Venom Page. I have no idea how that fight is going to turn out, because I have seen Michael Venom Page. I suggest anybody who's not familiar with him to get familiar with him. He is just absolute. Whenever he steps into the octagon, it's just absolute violence. So definitely, if you have not ever seen him fight before, you should. I can guarantee you it will not disappoint you. But anyways, that's going to be the end for today's news. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can do another video. And please subscribe and like the channel. And until next time.